All right. I think the microphone was on and I turned it off so it somehow it got reversed. I don't know what happened, but how is everybody doing? Today is Wednesday, June 17th, 2026. I hope that you are ready for a great stream because I know I am not prepared to give one. Will Tyler is already in the chat, kind enough to let me know that the audio was not working. But blah, blah, blah. I can speak, really. I'm glad to know that it is working now. Today, I think what we're going to do is we're going to work on a map, because I love working on the map. And so I say that every stream now. It's become a gag that we're just going to work on the map. That's all we're going to do. We're going to work on the map. This game might suck, but the map for the game is going to be fucking amazing. It's not even a map for the game, actually. A map for the game world is going to be amazing. So I find that the map making process is very chill. It's very relaxing. It's very zen. It's just like, if I don't want to do anything, which is like most times now, it's kind of like what I do, right? It's just kind of like, okay, well, I can work on the map. I can just work on the map. That's what I'll do. I'll work on the map. And so I think we're just going to work on the map. Will Tyler says going to make coffee. Still listening though. Well, since Will is the only one here and he is a fellow map lover, I think it's even more fitting that we're going to work on the map. So this morning when I was working on the map, how many times am I going to say working on the map? But this morning when I was doing that, I found a great city for kind of like to kind of like model after. Excuse me. I was looking for cities on the coast and I came across a city that I have not been to, but I would like to go to one day, and that is Montevideo. Now I know it looks like Mount Video or Montevideo, but it's actually Montevideo. Montevideo. And actually the city itself it looks interesting, I guess, as a city, but actually out here on this coastal area, actually it looks really cool. And the reason it looks really cool is that it's a really good example of just like organic, I don't know how to explain, just like kind of like organic flow, right? Because you can see that like you had this main street that runs alongside the beach, and then you have like the sub roads behind it, more or less, like if you take the beach to be the front of it. So it's just this like very visually appealing organic map because it has like a pseudo grid system, and then it has like a weird loop and curves, and like it's kind of like a woman, right? It follows a basic structure, but it has curves to make it unique. And that's what you want in your map. That's what you want in a map. So I don't know what you were thinking of. So I started kind of like, all right, well, I can work with this. Like, this is, look at this. It's just that this is such a nice organic grid pattern. I'm just going to use that word over and over. An organic grid pattern. Organic. It's organic. It's very human is what it is. It's not geometric. It's not numeric. It's organic. Look at this. Look at all these shapes within the shapes. Like, it's so nice. And it makes you wonder, like, did they do that on purpose? And it's like, there's no way that this was done on purpose. I think this had to have been done with just like, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Like, I really don't know. And like, the thing is like, how do you even build something like this on purpose? Like, how do you purposely make something like this? So we're going to try is what we're going to do. As you can see, I started off with 3 basic patterns. Now, what I did here is I made sure to space each street about 100 meters apart. And if you actually look here, that's kind of what these side streets are, these little streets here. Each one is about 100 meters apart. This is a little bit shorter. So, okay, no, that's about 100 meters exactly. But so anyway, again, what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to base my little city or this city that I'm building off of Montevideo. So that's what we're going to do. And we got to pick apart. Let's see. I have 3 streets, and then there's 3 streets, and then there is a main road up here. That kind of Avenue Uruguay. What a coincidence that there is an Avenue Uruguay in the country of Uruguay. Anyway, so that looks to be like a medium-sized road. So I think what we're going to do, I can't remember if I made these alleys or what did I make them. I made them minor streets. I don't know. I feel like those should be alleys, honestly. Like this should be a minor. So if I look at the map of Montevideo, up here, let me turn on my highlighter. Up here would be a main street. Down here would be a major street. So you got a major street, and then these are like so wait, it's okay. Yeah, those are majors, and then everything else is an alley. So I think what the first thing we're going to do is we are going to we're going to select these features. So I need to go into Streets Minor. So wait, I got to make Streets Minor editable. I got to select that. I want to cut that, and then I'm going to go to the alleys layer. I got to make that editable, and then I can paste it. And then now they are alleys. Okay, so now if I click the alley layer, they should disappear, which is nice. Okay, now I have this street up here, which I believe is also a major street. Let me make sure that is correct. Hopefully I wasn't, it was, what was I thinking this morning? Is that an alley? No, it's a major, okay, it's a major street. This down here, okay. All right, so the street towards the ocean is a minor. So there's 3 levels, right? There's major, minor, and alley. Now, up at the top, there's road, highway, there's highway, major, minor, and then there's streets, major, minor. This is a little confusing. I feel like I need a better name for alleys because alleys aren't quite what they are, but we'll stick with that name anyway. We're just going to kind of think of them as like major street, medium, and minor is kind of like if it's not a street major, I feel almost like doing like streets major, streets, and then street minor is kind of what I feel like doing. But we're just going to kind of go with that in spirit is what we're going to do. Okay, so I look at this, and then I have this, there's this street here, which is like a street minor. So let's add a street minor. All right, and we're going to put it through. You know what? We're going to put it a little further away like this. And it doesn't have to be perfect, right? Like actually, the less perfect it is, the better it is because the more organic it's going to look. Now, I have been trying to come up with like unique, different street naming mechanics, for lack of a better term, like something that's just like not very Earth-like. I don't think I have really succeeded in that much, but so we're going to name this street. Oh no, not that street. Oh, whoa. Come back here. We're going to name this street. We're just going to name this street. We are going to name it Tyler Passage after Will Tyler because he's in the chat room. Tyler Passage is what this is. So Tyler Passage right there. All right, and the settlement ID, this is in the city of Dima Eta. I don't know why it got that name, and this is in the country of Ronobetu. No, not Ronobetu. This is not Ronobetu. Wait a minute. How well do I know my fictional world? Okay. Oh, I misspelled this. Oh, look at that. That's misspelled. Okay, yeah. Okay, so this is in the country of Sotototo. Okay, and then the status, this is an active road with a paved surface that is public. Okay, and then that's all I need for that. Okay, now what we'll do... See, I'm looking at this kind of like for reference, right? I'm looking at Montevideo to kind of just see how I could like spice it up a little bit instead of just making it like this. Like, look at this. Like this road just splits into 2 for no reason and then goes from there. So what we can do is we'll go back to the alleys. We're going to select this so we can actually edit this, and then we're going to go here. You know, people actually get jobs working in this program, QGIS. Like, I didn't realize that this was like something that people put on their resume. And like, I haven't become super proficient. I feel like I am only really just scratching the surface as to what this program can do. But I feel like there were a couple of posts like early on when I started this journey of trying to like build this little world. And I was thinking about using QGIS, and then so I looked up like, you know, creating a fantasy map using QGIS, and people were like, "Oh no, it's too hard, it's too complicated, it does more than you need it to do." And I was like, well, Okay. People are saying it's too complicated. They're saying it's too complicated and it does more than you need it to do, which tells me it does what you need it to do. So that's why I kind of chose it. And then I just started slowly working with it. And I honestly, like, once you get the basics of it, it's not terrible. It all makes logical sense. And I think it's not that bad. Anyway, okay, so how can we spice this area up, right? Like, other than adding a new road through it, we could have a road that kind of curves. We could put some water structure there. We could do the water. Actually, the water is not a bad idea. Okay, the water is tricky though, but I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try it at least. We're gonna try and put some water there. So here's how. I can't. Okay, I can do it, but it's gonna be complicated. Okay, so first what I need to do is I need to save all my layers. Okay, so save them. Then the layers I have open, I need to make sure they are not editable anymore. Now what I need to do is I need to save the project, and then I need to deselect states. I need to deselect land. Okay. Right? And you see this cells, because I need to edit this cell smooth, but once I edit the cell smooth and save, it is going to rewrite everything under this generated folder. And if I have anything under the generated folder open, it's going to fail because this is Windows, and Windows is going to be like, whoa, the file's already open, fella. You can't do that, fella. Chokiat said, stop spamming. No. No. Okay, so in order to fix this, what I can do is I can close the project, reopen it. Now I've reopened it without any of the generated layers selected, right? Now I should be able to cut into this. Let's see if I go to here and then I turn this editable. One of these is like, okay, I think this is it. Is this it? Delete a ring. And then I can define. How do I do this? Do I do it like this? Oh, wait. Okay, wait a minute. I screwed that up. Okay, so we can come over here. Like this. All right. Okay, wait. Feature cannot be added because the... Okay, so this is wrong. Add a ring. Delete a ring. Huh. All right. I've done this before. I just don't remember how to do it. Wait, okay. Is this it? Delete part. Okay, maybe delete part is what I want. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. Geez Louise. I didn't mean to do that. What did I do? Oh, my gosh. Oh, my stars and garters. What did I do? Okay. Okay, let's try this again. Let's just try this again. Delete ring. Delete part. Add ring. Do I want to add a ring? All right, so I come over here. Nope, that's not. Oh, that is what I wanted. Oh, that's exactly what I wanted. Okay, so now, okay, so wait, that looks like shit, but now that I know what to do, let's do this right. Here. Okay, that looks a little better. We'll stick with that for now. Now what I can do is I can make this layer no longer editable, save it. It should successfully generate those generated layers, and since they're not open, I should be able to open them. Look at that. I'm a genius. God damn, I am a genius. Look at that. Now, these edges look terrible. Those look absolutely awful. But we're going to keep it like that for now. We can clean that up later. So, if I go back to Montevideo... I'm not sure I'm quite happy with this, actually. Like, is there anything else I can do? Like, I mean, again, the world is your oyster. You could do what you want. But for whatever reason, I'm not a creative person. I'm just not I have to accept that about myself. Like, I'm not, like, when it comes to code, sure, but when it comes to like artistic, like even semi-artistic shit like this, I'm just not a creative person. I would like to be. I wish I was, but I'm just not. I'm just not. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let me see. I don't know what state I saved in. Yeah, I've saved. I'm stuck with it for now. Unless I want to lose that one road I added. No, let's just keep that. Let's just keep that. That's fine, right? And then we can even give it a name. It looks like Sawtooth Lake or something. Like, look at that. That looks terrible. No. We're not going with. We can't have that. We can't have that. Let me come over here. And if I go to, if I come back and I go to maps, if I need to close this, close, reset hard. Yeah, reset that hard, baby. Reset it hard. We should be done. We should be good. Okay, see, and like I said, we lost the street that I said we lost, but that's okay. Actually, we might be able to do this in a much... Okay, so actually, there's two things we need to do. We need to take these streets that are on the minor. We need to put those back onto the alleys. So let's do that, right? We just select them. Cut. Now we go to alleys. Make it editable, and then paste. Will Tyler says, I'm fairly proficient at this. I am fairly proficient at this. I can do lots of things. But people mostly use this, from what I understand, people mostly use this for like editing earth maps, like making earth map, like just making various earth maps. Like it's like I don't like, you know what, let me see. Help wanted QGIS. Let's see what kind of jobs. Okay, QGIS jobs, employment in the Washington D.C. It has been so long since I've looked for a job. Like, and I'm kind of like, well, that's not entirely true. Like, I do look for jobs every now and then, and I interview every now and then, but like, I have no real intention of like leaving my job. But like I try to like, I should interview more just to kind of be good at interviewing, right? Because interviewing is a skill, and if you let that skill lay dormant too long, you're not going to do well. Okay, so a visual journalist editor. This is a remote job. Let me see. Does it mean it? This came up under QGIS. Okay, it's not mentioned in the job description. All right. Okay, QGIS jobs. Okay, I do not want to sign up. I do not want to sign up for Indeed. I don't. And I feel like this is like something, like, this is kind of shitty because like Indeed probably is like, well, people are going to come here looking for a job because they need a job. So of course they're going to sign up. And it's just like, like, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, let's get back to this. Let me see something. Okay. I'm pretty sure this is its own. Let me see. If I come over here. Yeah, that's its own. So I can Control-C, Control-V, click the move tool, and just move it over. All right. Now, I want to be fair to Will Tyler because that was named Tyler Passage, I think. But let me see. Okay. View, show selected features. Okay, so this is Connor's Passage. So we're going to call this Tyler's Passage in honor of our friend Will Tyler. All right, Tyler's Passage. Okay. And this is a road, and now we're going to have the other roads connect to it. And actually, we need to make sure it connects to the roads too. So let me see if I'm... Whoa. Okay. All right, easy. Okay, then over here, if I zoom in, yeah, see, it's not actually connecting. God, today was one of those days where I'm like, why did I get into management? Why did I get into management? So I was on, like, it was, and I'm not exaggerating. I am not being hyperbolic. Today was over 5 hours of calls. Now I know Will Tyler's going to be, that's my daily life. Yeah, well, that's why you're not a programmer. I'm a programmer at heart. I still long for the days of programming, but it was 5 freaking hours of meetings. Just, oh my God. And granted, it was one meeting alone. It was really one meeting that was the lion's share of the day. And it was 3.5, almost 4 hours long. And it was awful. It was so awful. And then I wish Matthew was here because he could appreciate this. So I'm trying to think of, like, part of the product on which I am responsible. Well, technically I'm responsible for, like, the whole thing now, like the whole company's software. But the part that I am, like, most, I don't want to say most responsible for, but the part that I have the most experience, that I've worked on the most, part of it is a database, okay? Its primary function is not a database, and I know somebody, well, why don't you just use MySQL? Like, okay, just fuck you and just shut up and just listen, okay? Switching to a new database is not the point of this story, okay? So, anyway, part of it is like a database, and I'm on this call today. And we recently came out with a new generation of hardware. And you have these support people who are trying to, well, first of all, they're making statements like, well, going from, I'm just going to make up numbers, going from generation 6 to generation 7, customers complain about a lower throughput, or I'm sorry, customers complain a lot about the footprint. And what I mean by footprint is I mean the number of physical hardware devices they need in order to run their setup. And so, well, we thought going from generation 6 to generation 7 that since it was a new generation, we could just, it was like they were talking about how, like, oh, well, it should just be like a 2-to-1 swap or something. Like, for every 2 generation 6s, you can swap in 1 generation 7. And it's like, who told you that? Who told you that? And then they were like, and basically, you got to understand, we generate petabytes of data in days. Tons of data. And so think about the network traffic going through an office, okay? And now imagine all that data is stored. Like every single packet. Imagine every single little packet is stored. And now imagine all that data is indexed and queryable. And you have people who want to query like 30 days worth of data. They want to do a query of like select all IPs within the past 30 days. And then they complain that it takes 8 minutes to return it. And I'm like, 8 minutes is blazingly fast for the amount of data you are asking to be returned. 8 minutes is impressive. And so you have these support people who they like, well, the new generation for your queries that took 8 minutes, they should only take 4 minutes. And it's like, why did you promise this? And then they're saying things, well, because the queries take 8 minutes, this throughput isn't supported. And I'm like, no, like, you can't, no, don't be, and now I have to be political, but by the end of the meeting, I was getting defensive. And I could hear it in my voice, but this asshole is on the other side of the meeting making these statements like, well, it's just really, like, it looks like S7 just isn't going to be able to support this throughput. And I'm like, motherfucker, it's not being able to support the ridiculous query that you're passing it. And like at some point I was like, you put the same amount of data into any type of like Mongo or MySQL or Postgres or any like professional database, the same amount of data with the same level of indexing, and you ask it the same kind of question over the span of 30 days, you're not going to get instant results. Like, just because you're used to like going to Google and getting a result within seconds, it's like, it doesn't work like that. But it should work like that, honestly. Now, I mean, in some ways it should, but it could work like that if you had the infrastructure that Google has. Are you willing? Like, you're bitching about 6 fucking servers in your lab, and if you want the kind of if you want Google levels of response time, then you are going to have to support Google levels of hardware, because I guarantee you, Google is not serving you results as quickly as they are with like one computer. No, it doesn't work like that. So anyway, just completely infuriating day. Just an extremely infuriating day. Meeting is the antonym of progress. It is. Sounds like they need a data warehouse or some sort of aggregation to make. I don't want to get into it. Anyway, I mean, we're talking data warehouse. We're talking like all the words you said. Like, it's already done. It's already done. To an extent. Matthew says, customers in QA need to take note of the performance metrics for these queries. They do. But the thing is like, they were complaining, they were doing a query that was over the span of 7 days worth of data. Again, imagine a network, I'm going to make up numbers, but imagine a network of 100, like, let's say you have an office, like, let's pretend it's pre-COVID and people are still going to the office every day, and you have an office of 200 computers, and that includes like Outlook servers, that includes like user computers, that includes like web servers, just 200 computers, right? And maybe 150 of which are people in the office doing work. And imagine every single packet leaving the computer is getting written to disk, okay? And I'm not talking about queries going to Google or to the internet, but I'm talking about Sally on the intranet wants to send an email to John on the intranet. So that traffic never goes out over the internet, but it still is going to get logged into this system. Now imagine all that traffic in an office that size. How much data do you think you're generating on a daily basis? A fuck ton. Now imagine how much data you're going to be generating on a monthly basis. A bigger fuck ton. And now you want to be able to catalog it. I'm delving into the realm of like, I don't want to delve into this realm too much, because like I like to kind of keep some things about my work a little private. So I'm happy. Maybe we could do a members only stream and we can get a little more detailed into it, because if you're gonna send me money, then maybe I'll give you some secrets. But but it's big data. It's big data, and it's just infuriating how they act like, because what it is like they're used to going to like Facebook and like being able to do a search on Facebook, and they want those kind of response times. And it's like, okay, like, again, if you're willing to have the backbone, if you're willing to pay for the backbone that Facebook has, you're going to get those kind of response times. Sure. But you're not, because your budget is $3 million a year. And I promise you that Facebook's infrastructure costs more than $3 million a year to run. So it's infuriating. It's infuriating. Okay. So anyway, we want to try and like sculpt this. Matthew wasn't here. Like, Matthew, I was talking about how pretty from a map making standpoint Montevideo is. This is Montevideo in Uruguay, and so I'm trying to like make this. This is a little city, and it has like this beach island, which actually reminds me a little bit of Lagos. And I did look at Lagos and I was like, Lagos isn't as pretty. So anyway, so what I want to do is I want to build it up a little bit. We're not working on the game today, sorry. Not unless Not Sure shows up and sends me, not unless one of you guys want to send me $20, but we're not going to work on it right now. So anyway, I'm building this out. When I think about PCAP capture and aggregation, I think about how stupid the Mike Lindell claim about the election was, when he basically claimed to have a PCAP of the entire electronic voting network. Yeah, that was retarded. That was absolutely retarded. Matthew says, I'm out of here for cinema shortly. What gay movie are you seeing now? I know you... I like you, Matthew, but I'm kind of convinced that Matthew has terrible taste in movies. I'm just kind of convinced. Like, I still haven't seen Disclosure Day, but like I'm kind of convinced. Oh, okay, and he's seeing Scary Movie 6, so that just reaffirms my belief that he has terrible taste in movies. Like, that's just, ugh. Okay, how far away are these two streets? So that is about 141 meters. So if we did 141 meters here, let me see if I measure from here. So 141 meters is about, yeah. So the scale, I gotta be careful. Okay, so it's about right here. So what I did earlier, because it's a pain in the ass to like, I wish I could just kind of like set a temporary marker. But what I did is I put, let me go ahead and find 141 meters. All right, let me see. I can do it down here. 140, about 150 meters, let's say. So about 150 meters is about right here, okay? And then what I did is I took this and I put the edge right at the end. So now what I can do, what can I do? Okay, I can go back to alleys. Got to close that, which is going to close the marker, and then I can add a new street. And I'm gonna add it about right here. Oh, whoa. We need to change that. We need to change this over here. Okay, so we're gonna change it here. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Okay, so we gotta name this, and then I'll build it out later. So we're gonna call this, okay, so street. This is going to be Vale Street. All right. No, yes, that's fine. Vale Street. Settlement ID, I should have just copied and pasted, but that's fine. Settlement ID is Settlement Dima Eta. Country is Country Sutoto. And then this is an active road with a paved surface with public access. Excellent. And now we can kind of build it out a little more. We can actually go ahead and select that. And then maybe we just have it come up to here. Like I'm just looking at Montevideo for some inspiration, right? Like here's, I don't know. All right, what we're gonna do, we'll come over here. Okay, we're just gonna do copy and paste. I don't feel like doing this a bunch of times. So we're gonna copy that one, we're going to paste it, and then we're going to move it over. I can always change the size of it in a minute. I'm just going to eyeball this. I think eyeballing it is better, because then it looks a little more organic and not as measured, right? So I guess we could do that. That doesn't look great. So I'm going to kind of space these out. I am going to space them out a little more evenly. They don't have to be super even, but I'm going to make them a little more even. So let me see. I move this. All right. Scary Movie. He's from the UK. Makes sense. They haven't had good UK-based movies since The Guard. I don't care where the movie is filmed. Addy thinks he had a rough day. I had to review PRs and send back a few. I love sending back PRs. I don't know what you're talking about. Send back a few dramatic rework without me being able to have Claude do it for me. Like they did back in the Dark Ages. Yeah, like I've been wondering, like I feel like Microsoft kind of had this idea that that people were going to like step up and pay these insane prices. And don't get me wrong, some people will. Like, I mean, that is going to happen. But I also have a feeling that like maybe enough time hadn't passed, right? Because it's like anybody who was a programmer and then started using AI, and like they still, like, we haven't completely forgotten how to program, and we can still use AI to help us. So I feel like Microsoft's plan was like, okay, well, they've seen what they can do with it, so now they're definitely going to pay these insane prices in order to be able to use it. Whereas I feel like the majority of cases are going to be like, nah, well, I mean, it was fun while it lasted, but we're just going to go back to doing it how we used to do it. Like, I feel like that's more what's going to happen. And that this gamble, well, it might not be a gamble. It might be a necessity that they raise prices. I feel a little bit like it's a money grab, but whatever. But I feel like it's just not going to pay off, maybe, or maybe not pay off as well as they had hoped. We'll see. We'll see. And also, it really does feel like somebody else could come into the market. But maybe not. Maybe I'm just wishful thinking this. Okay, let's see. All right. Whoa. Okay. All right, we're gonna come over here. We got to get rid of it. We're gonna do this right here. Scary Movie 6. Scary Movie has the woman I've had a crush on her for a long time. I believe her name, although she recently came out and was like doing some like saying some woke shit that just was like, all right, well, you're still cute to look at. Her name's Regina Hall. She's in one of my favorite scenes. Like, I've never seen the movie, but she has like this great scene. What is it? It's Scary Movie church scene. Probably it's just this one. Yep, this is it right here for sure. Like, this is definitely it. Let me see. And then like the whole like wait, where is it?
Which we talk of not.
No. Oh yeah, right there. Love it. It's kind of sexy too.
We should welcome the outsiders among us.
Jeremiah, ought not your tongue be held?
I am sorry, Elder Hale, but sometimes my tongue wiggles beyond my ability to control it.
This is a problem with which I have had much experience. Maybe I could help him in a room in which there are no others.
Or you can watch. I don't give a fuck.
Or you can all watch. I don't give a shit.
Oh, give a shit. Anyway, no, like I've always thought she was a very, very good-looking woman. And this dress that she's wearing in this outfit, like, I find that like Puritan kind of like look, like it's sexy. It's sexy. Will Tyler says their fatal flaw was that they didn't have the good stuff that gets people hooked quickly. Unlike a good dealer, they didn't let customers get properly hooked. I mean, to some extent, yeah. Like, I've almost burned through my Copilot usage, and I burned through the majority of it trying to get, I don't want to say a basic feature, but trying to get, I'll show you the feature I was working on. Actually, it's in the wiki. But over here, you can now, like, click these and get them collapsible. That's all I wanted. And I went through, like, 5 different iterations. And like my usage, the meter that shows you how much you've burned through, it started at like 24%. And I finally just stopped and decided to do it manually when I got to around 72%. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, I've burned through nearly all of my usage and it still looks like shit. Like, the initial implementation, it just looked like shit. So I ended up doing most of this just on my own, actually not on my own. I did it the old-fashioned way, which is I uploaded a couple of files to ChatGPT and I asked ChatGPT what I needed to change to get what I want. And within like 2 or 3 iterations, I had it working just fine. Definition of a scam, Matthew says. Yep. So we'll see. We'll see what comes of AI. Or maybe we won't. Maybe the AI overlords will kill us before we have a chance. All right, let me see if I connect that here. Excellent. And then this one down here. Excellent. All right, so it still looks very boxy. It doesn't look organic at all. Like, what could we do? I mean, other than just, let's see. Okay, like, we have this little offshoot here, right? we could just have a little offshoot, like maybe like here, or maybe we just have like unaligned roads, like here and here. You think? All right. Let me see. If I do. If I do this, like put it here, right? And then put another one here. I mean, I guess that's something. And then we have like, some of them have like a curve for no apparent reason, and they're actually all not so uniform. Okay, so let's see. We have this here. Okay, easy. And then we could bend it. Like that. I think that looks great. Classic Kyle Lopez. Hello, Mr. Kyle Lopez is in the house. We were talking about you a little bit, Kyle. We were wondering, like, what your deal is. We were wondering, because, like, you have a very special way of speaking in the chat room, and it's a little like, we were wondering about you. We were wondering, like, okay, is he AI? Like, maybe he's AI. Like, I don't know. We were wondering about, like, I mean, Will Tyler was really talking shit about you, though. And, like, because Will Tyler was just going on about how, like, he couldn't stand, like, I mean, I've never heard a person use the F word so many times in one sentence. Like, it was ridiculous, the stuff that Will Tyler was saying. And, like, we actually had to mute him and ban him for about 5 minutes because he just wouldn't stop going on about this Kyle person. And we were like, whoa, wait a minute, back up. This Kyle guy's not that bad. And then he just, like, he like, I thought he was going to get violent. Like, I mean, it was weird. So I don't know what you did to him, Kyle, but Will Tyler is, yeah, you need to have a word with him. Okay, can I close? I just want to close some of these. Like this, I don't even know what, I don't know what, okay, web toolbar, we don't need that. Okay, let's see, vector toolbar, snapping selection. Okay, this, help toolbar. No, we can get rid of the help toolbar. What's this one? This is, it would help if they were somehow labeled. I don't know what these are. I'm just gonna put this up here, right? Like, and then we can save some screen real estate. He don't do nothing. I'm chill. I know you're chill, but like Will Tyler just, and then like Matthew started like also getting in on it, just being like, you know, I don't care that I'm English. I'll get a gun. And like, I mean, it was like, whoa, Matthew, chill. Just chill. So I was on your side the entire time, Will Tyler. I was. So was Henna. She's not here now to defend you, but she was on your side too. And like Henna and Matthew are like an item. So the fact that like Henna was on your side like speaks volumes. Where is she, by the way? Like, she texted me this morning. I texted back and then haven't heard from her since. So I mean, is she okay? I can't believe you comment yesterday. I can't believe it either. What comment are you talking about, Kyle? I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, this looks dumb right here. Remember the short yesterday. Oh, the AI one that I said was real. Let's see. Let's put that there. All right, so how can we channel the spirit of Montevideo? I mean, like I said earlier, I'm just not a creative person. You know what? I'm going to delete this. Well, I wanted to delete that one too, and I'm going to delete this. And then we'll just have... we'll have them up here. Well, you know what? You know what we're going to do? We're going to stop editing that. Right? And then, because I want to work on something else that I haven't worked on in a while. And then that is adding a building or a few buildings. And I want to remember, I got to remember how to do that, really. But no, we're not going to add it here. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go all the way to the other side of the planet. How do I be a member without paying? You can't. You got to pay. Do I have comment on most of your videos or something? No, you got to pay. It's $1. Pay $1. No, you need to pay. There's no unless and the thing is that there you can gift subs, but there's no way to gift us, which I've always thought was kind of silly. There's no way to gift a sub to a specific person. So what you do is you buy like 5 gift subs or 10 gift subs or whatever it is, and then they get handed out to random people. And I'm not even making that up. Like, I'm not even being like funny or anything. Like, that's literally how it works. No, like gift a member, like you can't, like there's no way other than paying or getting the luck of the draw and a gift membership. Okay, we're gonna come back to Montevideo and we're gonna look at some remote villages in like let's look at northern Russia, just to get inspiration. Well, they're probably not going to have building data, but let's see. Like you go up here, right? Like I mean, maybe they will. I'm surprised this doesn't have little structures up here. Like, what must it be like to be up in this place? In Belushia Guba. Like, what is it up like to be up there? Like, I mean, that's pretty far north. Now, it's not as far north as I have been, thank you very much, but it is pretty far up there. Let's see. I check and it is $1.50. I don't know about that. Let me look. Join. It's $1.99 a month right here. $1.99 a month to become a junior software engineer. I think Matthew's already left. And Will Tyler has too. They've left me. Okay. Let's see. So what I want to do is I want to find a little community that what it said for me. Yeah, $1.99. I mean, $0.99. Convert it. Oh, well, Lopez is it. Kyle, aren't you in the U.S.? Are you in the U.S. or are you like in some weird country like Canada? Okay, I don't want to go with Longyearbyen because I feel like I'm familiar. I mean, I am familiar with Longyearbyen. I want to go with a town I've never been to, and let's see, like Rainwright. How like? Okay, this is good. This is good. Show me some. You're not going to show me? You don't have any structures either. Okay, this is something that we can actually probably use Bing Maps for. Wainwright, Alaska. Okay, I don't think... wait, no, not Alberta, Canada. Alaska. Okay, I butchered spelling of Alaska, but that's okay. Wow, there's no building data here either. Wow. Look how nice. Bing Maps has a beautiful UI. Look at that. Look how the labels they fade in and out. Like they don't just up, well, some of them do, it looks like, but they fade in to some extent. Okay. Oh, here's the building data. Okay. Well, did we have building data over in? Did I just need the? Oh, I just need to zoom in more. I wasn't zoomed in enough. Okay. All right. So let me see. If I clear the measurement, and then I do the measurement here, measure distance, 24 meters. And then this is going to be, okay, so 24 meters is a big building. Then we have down here about 10 meters. 10 meters at width. Bye, night. Chai. Okay, so like 16 meters. Okay. Historic St. Augustine, Florida. Petersburg, Alaska. I found Wainwright, Alaska. I'm going to check at YouTube Studio for a bit. Well, you never. Okay, in the USA. Kyle is in the USA. So yeah, he's in the USA. So I don't know why it said $1.09 or it said 99 cents. Okay, so let's add some buildings in this little town here, right? Yeah, we got to make it look organic. We got to make it look. We got to make it look real. Okay, so what I need to do first is I need some type of baseline. Let me see, how big was this? What did I say it was? 20 meters. Let me draw a 10-meter line. Let me do that. I'm gonna do it like this. Okay, so 10 meters from here. Is right here. Roughly here. Okay. Oh, god damn it. God damn it, Addie. Okay. So what I can do is I can move that point there. Now I'm just going to literally just draw a line. A straight line, but a line nonetheless. A straight line because, you know, we ain't no fruits around here. Oh, whoa, wait a minute. That was Will Tyler speaking, not me. Okay, we're going to delete that line, so it doesn't matter. Kyle is back. Okay, thank you, Kyle. I was worried about you. We were wondering where you were. Like, in the Discord, we were, like, I mean, like, while you were gone, like, we were legitimately concerned. Like, there was concern all around about where you had gone. Okay, so that's 10 meters. Okay. So now if I come back up here to the buildings, this was 20 meters, this was 10, that was what? So we have a good baseline. See, the buildings, they don't have to be completely, yeah, you know, like, you don't need perfect right angles. Like, you know, you go around your house, it probably doesn't have perfect right angles. No, I mean, things like that, they're just suggestions is what they are. Those are just merely suggestions. Okay, so this is building, we're gonna, okay, this is in point goal kick. So point goal kick, building 1. We're gonna call this the police station. This is the goal kick. But no, this is a population of 500. Are you going to have a police station? No, let's just call it community center. Building type. Okay, if I go to the maps project, I documented like things like building type, like the different types of building types. Matthew says, or not Matthew, Kyle, remember the time you asked to remove the pronouns? That I remember, that was yesterday. I didn't get any subscriber after I moved the pronouns in my YouTube channel. Kyle, are you putting on is this a shtick? Like, I can't tell if this is a shtick or Like, is this a shtick? It's got to be. It's got to be. Okay, QGIS layout, buildings. Okay, building type. Okay, civic. Okay, if it's community center, this is going to be a would it be civic if it's community center? Fortification, transport, harbor, educational, medical, cultural, utility, agriculture. I think civic is the best. Yeah, it's going to be a civic building. Give me a sec. Okay, yeah, this has got to be. I feel like Kyle is probably somebody who I send the link to every now and then, and they're coming in to give me hell. I really don't know. This has got to be a shtick. It's a shtick, isn't it, Kyle? Just admit it. You can admit it. Hello, Kyle. Okay, so let me see. Go back to this. So status, building subtype. Did I mention the status? I thought I mentioned the status. Did I not mention the status? Current condition of use. Yeah, we can call it active. Access is public. And then I think that can be... Okay, so zoom min is the minimum zoom distance before... This is a zoom of... Of course it's not going to be like... Okay, unfortunately it's not like Bing, where Bing actually has the zoom in the... If we poke around... Okay, I think... Is it this? 17.6? Level. 17.6, so it's just the very end. We can test that by just modifying this to 7.6. Yes. Okay, perfect. And then if we go back to 17.6, excellent. Okay. So this was a zoom of 17. Bing, it looks like it appears, disappears. It's not completely fixed. It's a little variable, maybe not. And that looks to be 17, right? I think, but we got to remember that we're not using the same coordinate system, so it's a little different. And I can't remember if we should go a little bigger or a little smaller. Ha! Ha! We'll go a little bigger. A little smaller. Oh, bigger is smaller. All right. Anyway, we're going to go with the minimum zoom of 16 is what we're going to do. And then that is that. Okay. Now, that's a special looking house. It does look a little special. I'll admit that. We can fix it up a little bit. But again, you know, like houses aren't meant to have right angles. Okay. Let me see. Okay. So that's good. Okay. Yeah, I'm just looking here. I'm just looking for like a variety, like a, you know, just to get an idea of like the different building shapes. So I think probably the easiest way to do this is to just select it, copy, paste, and modify, right? Like we can select this, we can paste it, and then we can move it. Wait, what? Wait a cotton picking minute. Just wait 1 second. Oh, one feature was pasted. Geometry collapsed due to the intersection avoidance. Oh, my stars and garters. Okay, how do I do this? I forget how to do this. There's a way to do this, though. Like, I come over here. I select this. I can I do this? I don't think that worked. It says it was pasted, though. Huh. Settlement goal kick. It should have the same properties. Wait, what? Oh, point goal kick. Yeah, point goal kick. Okay, so I can see here. Yeah, it definitely was pasted, and then the geometry was definitely collapsed. So this third one here, this should flash now. Yes. So I can delete these two. Yes, delete those features. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do this another way. We're going to select this one. We're going to copy. Now we're going to take this one and we're going to move it. Now paste the original one. Perfect. Because I am a goddamn genius. Okay. Move this one. I'm going to put it over a little more. Paste again. Move it. Paste again. Move over here. Paste again. Move over here. And then one last time. Paste one more time. There we go. Is the World Cup on? Is the World Cup playing right now? Anybody playing? Kyle says, I shall try a live stream tomorrow. It's my first time doing a live stream. What shall I expect? You should expect a whole lot of nothing. Day one of someone giving 5 free membership until it picks me for a membership, I think. Kyle, why don't you live stream now? Like on it, like live stream, and then what I'll do is I will watch your stream on my stream. Like, I want to see this. I want to see this. I want to see Kyle. I want to see the man himself, Kyle, on live stream. I got to see this. Okay, so these are all the community. Like, apparently this little town of, like, just a few people has a community center. Why does this look disproportionate, though? I think I need to put alleys and stuff in there. I don't want to work on this right now. This is where it gets like tedious and redundant, and it's just like, all right, like, let me see. Like, you know, you can make like, okay, well, wait a minute, that's weird. Huh. A long time ago, in the year 2007, so up until then, it had been a lifelong dream of mine to go to Alaska. I had always wanted to go to Alaska because I had this, ever since I was a kid, I had this fascination with cold places. So in 2007, I took myself and my daughter, my 12-year-old daughter, we went on a trip to Alaska. We flew into Anchorage, picked up a rental car, a truck actually, and we drove from Anchorage, and we spent three or 4 days. I don't remember exactly how long, but we spent 3 or 4 days driving from Anchorage up to Fairbanks, and then we spent like 2 days in Now, let me back up. We spent like 2 days in Anchorage. Then we spent a few days driving up to Fairbanks, spent a day in Fairbanks, and then from Fairbanks, we flew up to Barrow. Barrow, which of course now is called Click or whatever the hell it's called, but it will always be Barrow in my heart. Barrow, like it's Kivik, whatever. That literally sounds like a name that somebody who's creating a world would make up, right? It sounds like a fictional name. Anyway, we went to Barrow, and I'll never forget. So we just kind of went around town, just kind of chilling, and like we went on like a little excursion all the way out to Point Barrow, which is the northernmost point in the continent. Oh, in the United States, not in North America, but in the United States. It's the northernmost point in the United States. But we also went to. This is going to sound weird, but bear with me. We went to this guy's house, okay? But he had this this museum of artifacts in his house. He was kind of known in Barrow for having this like home museum of just like random like old artifacts from the times of like the Inuit people and all of that, but whatever. But I'll never forget that like his house was like on one. It was like maybe on this street for all I know, but it was on a street that was next to the ocean. It was right on the ocean, and you had to walk up because it was like one of those houses that was on stilts to protect against flooding. And you just walk up, and his entire living room just had this like huge bay window overlooking the Arctic Ocean. And it was just like one of the most beautiful things. It was just like, I want this house. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And the amazing thing about it was that we were there in, I think, June. So you still, like, the pack ice had been breaking up. So it wasn't solid ice on the Arctic Ocean because it does freeze over. But it was but it was water when we were there, but there was still big, huge chunks of ice all in the water and on the beach. And it was, oh my God, that guy's view, it was just so fucking amazing. Mind you, for like 2 months out of the year, you know what? I was going to say like there's no view because it's pitch dark. But the thing is it's like even in the polar night, it's not pitch dark unless you are somewhere in the extreme north, like Longyearbyen. Now, in Barrow, you will get twilight in Barrow. You will get a fair amount of twilight that allows you to see somewhat, right? You're going to get a fair amount of twilight even on the darkest of days in Barrow, Alaska. But somewhere in like Longyearbyen, you're not like you won't even get twilight. You will, because like up here in Longyearbyen, you won't get twilight. You're not going to get twilight. And like I really want to spend an entire polar night in Longyearbyen. Like I would love to spend an entire polar night in Longyearbyen. I went there the first time in mid-January. So when I got there, the first time I went there, when I got to Longyearbyen, there was like the faintest hint of like, I don't know, like if it was like RGB value, it wasn't 000000. It was like 000044, right? Like it was just like barely blue. And but this last trip I went. The last time I went, when I went, like, not last year, but the year before when I went to Longyearbyen and I stayed longer, the day I got there was the same day I had left on my previous trip. So it was like, I'm just going to make up a date. But, like, what I mean, though, is, like, the previous trip, I left on, like, February 2nd. And then on my second trip, I arrived on February 2nd. Different February 2nd, but same date nonetheless. And so by the time, like when I got there, you had a fair amount of twilight. You had a very fair amount of twilight. And then by the time I left, I think 4 weeks later, 4 or 5, because I was there for the polar sunrise. And by the time I left, it was bright by 5:30 in the morning, and it wasn't dark until almost 9 o'clock at night. And the point of me saying that is that if you look at like a sunrise sunset chart of Longyearbyen, the days you gain and then alternatively lose so much daylight. You lose so much daylight so quickly per day in Longyearbyen. It is ridiculous. Sunrise, sunset, chart, Longyearbyen. Is this I don't know if this is the website that I normally use or not. Yes, this one. So, like if you go, so like they're in their polar day, and the sun's not going to set, I think, until September. Let me see. Yeah. Like this summers would drive me nuts. Like I don't think I could do the summers. Okay, so it's actually late August is when you're going to first start, when the days are going to change. But look at this. So keep this in mind. So August 24th, you have no sunset. No sunset on August 24th. And then September, everything just goes completely haywire. It completely changes. And then by the end of October, you have no sunrise. So in less than 2 months, well, about 2 months exactly, it takes 2 months to go from 24 hours of, I don't want to say 24 hours a day. Well, you will get 24 hours of daylight to 24 hours of quote unquote darkness. It's ridiculous. Not super surprising, but my new MP5K is not a fan of my reload ammo and the suppressor. It seems like everybody has a suppressor. I thought that you had to spend like $10,000 on a federal license to get a suppressor. And then I was talking to like a buddy of mine at work, and he's like, no, I think he said it was like $500 or something like that to get a license for a suppressor. Like, how much does a license for a suppressor cost? A federal tax stamp will require to register a suppressor through the ATF is $0. While you do not need a specific license, the physical okay, I thought you needed some kind of license or something. Used to be $200 tax, now the tax is free. Oh. What do you mean no license needed? Did that recently change? Like in the past, like 5-10 years recently? Like, has that changed? Oh my God, I had a scary experience the other day. So I was I was in my office downstairs, and I'm on my desk downstairs, and I'm just like going through things. Now, mind you, I keep a gun pretty much within reach everywhere I'm at in the house, except this room. But next to my bed, there's a gun. My couch downstairs, there's a gun. My desk downstairs, there's a gun. In the garage, there's a gun. So I was downstairs, and I'm like going through my desk, and I know where the gun is. And I'm like, I open up and I don't see the gun. I'm like, oh my God, where did it go? And then I spent a half hour looking for that gun. I spent and I'm like sitting there like thinking, oh my God, like I don't know where it is. If I can't find it, I'm going to have to report it missing, because the last thing I need is for somebody to have stolen my gun and then it be used in a crime or something like that. I'm like freaking out. I'm like, oh fuck. And then the fucking gun was right in front of my face the entire time. Like, right, but I did find it. That's the point of that story. Tax went to $0 recently, but never a license to own. Has been about $200 tax since 1934, then went to $0 with Trump's big, beautiful bill. It doesn't surprise me that Trump changed the tax and all that, but I could have sworn you needed a license. Now, I mean, obviously I'm wrong, and I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong, but I could have sworn you needed a license at some point. Okay, all right. But did you need a license for a fully automatic weapon? I know that's a state thing, but on a federal level, did you need a license for fully automatic weapons? Again, I know it depends on the state, but is there a federal requirement in addition to whatever state requirements there may or may not be? You're thinking you're thinking of the colloquial Class 3 license. And then you're telling me there's no license for... Okay, what is a Class 3 license? What is a Class 3 firearm license? Kyle, if you're still there, do you own any firearms? Technically, there is no such thing as a Class 3 firearms license. In the gun community, this is incorrectly refers to a Class 3 special occupational tax attached to a standard federal firearms license. So this is the FFL that allows you to manufacture, import, or sell firearms as a business. Interesting. Full auto suppressor short barrel rifle have always been a $200 tax to transfer. Class 3 is a special occupational tax. I don't know what I'm thinking of then. I always thought that like there was some federal license required for certain things like a suppressor and for like fully automatic. Like okay, well, shows what I know. Now, of course, depending on the state you're in, like, yeah, like I know Virginia's trying to pass through the like, well, you know, we're just trying to get assault weapons off the road. Like, you know, do you really need a weapon of war? Like, this is something that tries, like, they throw out these general terms, these general, very vague, unspecified terms so that they can envelop everything into that term. Like, do you really need a weapon of war in your home? Like, why do you need an assault weapon in your home? Like, oh my God. Like, So people call Title II weapons Class 3 and incorrectly think you have okay, I got my MP5 today ahead of the July 1st deadline for the Virginia's AWB assault weapons ban. Okay, yeah, fucking ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. Let's say hypothetically, let's just talk hypotheticals, just completely hypothetical, okay? I just want to talk, can we just talk hypothetical for a minute? Let's just say completely hypothetical. Somebody bought a few handguns and a shotgun in Maryland, right? And then they left Maryland and they eventually ended up in Virginia, right? Like the person who owned these weapons, just say hypothetically, they eventually moved to Virginia. I'm pretty sure that person in this completely hypothetical situation, I'm pretty sure that person would not have to register them with Virginia. I don't think there's any registration system in Virginia other than the typical registration of when you buy a weapon. Is that correct? Let me see. If someone if someone lived in Maryland and purchased a handgun and then moved to Virginia, would they have to notify Virginia that they had the handgun? No, that's what I thought. Virginia does not require firearm registration, nor is there any law that requires new residents to declare or notify the state of handguns they already own or bring with them. That's what I thought. That hypothetical person would 100% be good. There is no registry in Virginia or federally other than the Title II. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I figured. I remember, I guess, back in like 2013 or so, I tried getting a carry permit for Maryland just for giggles. Like, I knew it would fail. But I went through, I got the fingerprints, I got everything, and then, like, in Maryland, you have to submit justification as to why you need one. So I went online, and I asked on, like, I think it's like Maryland Shooters or something. There's, like, some Maryland gun forum. There's, like, some Maryland gun forum. Yeah, Maryland Shooters forum. And I went on here, and I asked them, I was like, hey, like, I'm doing this. Like, what kind of, like, people who have done this successfully, like, what have you done for justification? And generally for justification, it's like, I'm being stalked, or my job, I carry large amounts of cash with my job, or I'm a known personality and people are, that kind of thing, which none of those were applicable to me. So I did what somebody on the forum suggested, and I printed out crime stats. I printed out crime stats and wrote some letter that was just kind of like, I'm fearful for my safety because of where I live. And nope, was denied. My business partner in Maryland got his CCW rather easily. Really? I wonder, is it related to his business? Because I know that, like I said, if you carry around large amounts of cash, then you can get it. Then I've heard that, like, that's pretty easy to justify. Virginia, yeah, I had a Virginia carry permit before I was even a Virginia resident. I also had a Utah CCW because at the time Utah had more reciprocity than any other state in the country. I have no idea what it's like now. No, it was after the SCOTUS Bruin decision. Was that the one where there was a guy in Maryland that sued for his... So I remember a case where I think it was like a kid, not a minor, but like a young guy, like an 18 or 19-year-old, like a kid essentially. And he was being he was stopped by the police, and he had a gun in his backpack, and then the police asked him something, and he's like, oh no, that my backpack's in there, or like he had left the backpack unattended or something like that. Was that what that was? Bruin. Summarize the SCOTUS Bruin case. No, this was in New York. Struck down New York's concealed carry law. So has that been implemented? Because I'm sure Maryland probably was like, well, we don't care. We don't care what the federal law says. This is Maryland, and we do things the Maryland way. We do things how Maryland does it. And, excuse me. I misspelled it. What did the... Okay, let's see. Let's stop the music.
After McDonald, essentially, the Supreme Court went quiet on the Second Amendment for over a decade. They granted cert in a case called Bruin, which had to do...
Now,
with
I remember there was also a case...
licensing
Oops, I thought
law.
I paused this. I thought there was also a case that took place in Washington, D.C. Wasn't there some... There was... I don't remember what it was, but I think it was something similar where... Because I think in Washington, D.C., like they were trying to say you can't even have a gun at home. Like they were just pretty much just outlawing guns in general. That might be misinformation.
State of New York. The state of New York, since the Prohibition era, had a regulation that said that if you wanted to have a permit to carry a firearm, a pistol, on your person for purposes of self-defense, you needed to show some kind of proper cause.
My proper cause is the Second Amendment. No, my proper cause is all you goddamn liberals trying to take away my rights.
You needed to show some reason why you wanted it. It wasn't enough to go to the licensing.
Look at the gaps in this guy's teeth.
Authority.
Look at that. Wow. Wow. Okay, I shouldn't mock. I shouldn't mock because I don't have great teeth. I mean, I don't have gaps. I just have like crooked teeth on the bottom. But wow. Wow. Okay. No. I'm sorry, dude. I didn't mean. I'm sorry. Whatever your name is. I'm sorry. Daryl Miller. I'm sorry, Daryl Miller. Like your teeth. I didn't mean to make fun of your teeth. I'm sorry.
And just say I want a gun. you had to explain, I'm, I carry a lot of money, or I've been subject to personal threats, or whatever.
Right.
And 2 individuals from upstate New York challenged this regulation.
See, this is the thing. This happens in Maryland too, where you have a big city like New York City that suddenly they pass laws because they basically dictate the law for everybody. These people, basically what goes in New York City doesn't necessarily go in upstate New York, like Plattsburgh. Oh man, up in upstate New York is fucking beautiful. Like up near Plattsburgh, New York. Is that what it's called? Plattsburgh? On the other side of Burlington, Vermont. Gorgeous. Like upstate New York is fucking gorgeous. Yeah, Plattsburgh. Love it up there. All right, sorry, we're gonna get through this video.
Saying that it violated their Second Amendment rights, and in a 6-3,
you can't mock UK with you can't mock teeth with UK viewers.
A decision that was written by Justice Clarence Thomas, the court agreed with the challengers and said, yes,
chief white supremacist Clarence Thomas
violates the Second Amendment right to bear arms for personal purposes like self-defense. That was the narrow issue. And that was a pretty big issue because even though there were only about 5 or 6 states that had a law like New York, they represented about 25% of the American population.
Right.
And certainly represented those states that tend to have fairly dense urban areas like California or like New York with New York City or Los Angeles and so forth.
All right, I'm done with that video. But speaking of California, I saw something today that was, I gotta find it. I gotta find it because it was. I gotta talk about this because it was fucking. I was floored when I saw this. Okay, let me play the music back. I want the music back. So California has a gay certification program. So what you do, because I guess they're giving out certain contracts to LGBTQ plus whatever owned companies. And it's not enough to just say you are LGBTQ plus whatever. You have to prove it. You have to be a certified LGBTQ blah, blah, blah. You have to be a certified member of the community. Okay, where's the good part? The good part. Mary Ann Horton has experienced this journey firsthand. Horton, an early internet pioneer credited with helping develop an email attachment, is a white male who transitioned and is now married to a woman. Horton's company, Red Ace, is registered in California as a woman and LGBT-owned business. The application process, Horton told City Journal, required a mess of documentation. To prove that Red Ace was lesbian-owned, Horton sent Supplier Clearinghouse a domestic partner affidavit. To establish that the business was woman-owned, Horton submitted a birth certificate, which had been reissued in Washington state post-transition. To prove transgender status, Horton filed a therapist carry letter, a document from a medical professional certifying transgender identity. If I was a white male, I might be concerned I don't have the same opportunity, Horton said. It worked great for me. This is so insane. This is so, I thought that this was like, no, this can't be real. This is real. This is real. I don't even have words. I'm not trying to do political commentary, but this is just fucking. First of all, I don't understand how it's legal. If in California, preferential public contracting is technically illegal. In 1996, voters approved Proposition 209, which banned the state from granting preferential treatment based on race, sex, or ethnicity in public employment, education, and contracting. More than 2 decades later, in 2020, they rejected an effort to repeal the ban. I remember that. So I remember that because I remember trolling my friend Johnny Gators with this. Because in 2020, there was a headline that the legislature of California wanted to repeal the what the hell is it? That they wanted to repeal, oh my God, equal rights. Basically the like equal rights provision of their stature, right? Of their laws. It's not equal rights. What the hell is it called? Something. Oh, I'm just going to go with equal rights because it sounds good. But California, they wanted to repeal it, and I was trolling my friend Gators, and I sent him a link, and I said, can you believe that lawmakers want to repeal the equal rights protections in California? And then because Johnny Gators, ultimate liberal, and he's like, yeah, some people just, well, he said something to the extent of like, yeah, some people just hate minorities. Some people don't want to protect minorities. Some people just want to see minorities fail or something like that. And the thing was that it was the Democrats who proposed it. And so I said, yeah, right, I know, the Democrats just really hate minorities. And then he was like, wait, the Democrats proposed this? Now I have to read the article. Because before, he had just assumed it was Republicans proposing it. So it's just like, it's just Republicans being Republicans and being racist. So of course they want to repeal it. But the whole reason California wanted to repeal it was because they wanted to discriminate. Right? Oh. Somebody's really distracting me. But the whole reason they wanted to repeal it is because they wanted to be able to legally discriminate. But luckily it failed. It failed. But this is just I find it wild that government money can be handed out to people based on who they like to have sex with. Like it's crazy. But California did it. But anyway, again, I'm not trying to do political commentary. I'm not. I want to, but I'm not. I want to, but I'm not. All right, I'm going to get back to the map. I'm just going to build the map for a little bit longer. I don't think anybody's here anyway. I can do all the political commentary I want, but nobody's here to hear it. All right, let's go back to not Montevideo, but we're going to go back to Wainwright, Alaska. It is very quiet here today. So look how spread out these are. How far apart is this? Oh, yeah, no, I can't look at that. Okay, so this is the same. Okay, how far apart? Let me see. Clear measurement. Measure distance. That is about 116 meters apart. Whoa! So tomorrow is going to be my last. Okay, so this is 10 meters. So tomorrow is my last day at home. Friday, I am. I don't know if anybody's still here. I don't know if Will Tyler's here. I think the only person this is going to be news to is Will Tyler if he's here. But tomorrow is my last day home, as I will be moving. More or less moving. I will be moving out of the country. I will be making a big move. Okay, wait a minute. Paste. Okay, no feature was paste. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. Okay. So anyway, the point is like the stream, I'm a little concerned about myself with the stream because I'm not very good at streaming when I'm not here. But I'll be moving. I will be moving. I will show you. If anybody is, Will Tyler is here. Congrats. Oh, I don't know if it's a congrats situation. I mean, I guess it could be a congrats situation. I will be moving. I out of the country. I'm getting out of the country. I can't take it. There's just too much. I can't take Trump and everything he's doing. Don't ask me for specifics because I can't name them. But I read on the internet that he's doing lots of bad things, so I know he's doing bad things. No, I'll be moving. I did mention this the other day. I did mention this on stream. I'm pretty sure I did. Okay. I will be moving to the city of Gaborone, Botswana. I will be living in an area of Gaborone called Block 3. Do you need to leave your guns in a trusted party? I am going to be leaving them in my house. Because I will still have my house. I will be paying for my house even though I won't be here. But I will, I'll be paying for my house. probably for like the next year or so. Year, maybe 2 years. Eventually I'm going to sell it. So I have time because my long-term plan is, well, my short-term plan is to move to Habarone. And I'll be getting a divorce. I think that's pretty clear. So, and then once that is final, once all the legal stuff is like taken care of and all that's squared away, I'll eventually sell this house, and I'll probably end up putting a lot of stuff in storage is my thought, right? Is that I'll just probably get like a storage bin, and I'll probably end up putting like my television, my bed, my guns. Like I'll just end up putting a lot of stuff in storage. And then like my plan is not like I do not plan to be in Habarone permanently. At this point, I will probably be in Habarone for a year or two. Like that's the thought. And then once my house is sold and I am no longer paying for my house, and provided that my employment situation doesn't change and things like that, I'll probably move to Cape Town for another year or so. I really like Cape Town. But I'm thinking about moving to Cape Town, and then until something else goes through, which I'm not ready to talk about, but I will be in the waiting period for something else. And then once that goes through, and no, I'm not waiting. It's not as though I'm waiting for the statute of limitations on something to expire. It's not that. No, it's just get your mind out of there. It's not like that. But once this other thing goes through, I will come back to the States. So that's my plan. Will Tyler says storage is almost never a good idea for non-keepsakes. Large waste of money. Better to sell off and buy new later. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be doing a lot of that as well. But there is stuff that like the guns, for example. Well, maybe I'll just sell the guns. I don't know. What do I have? I have a Glock 19, which is like, I feel like a Glock 19 is like the starter for any gun owner. It was my first gun. It was my first gun I got back in like 2011, I think 2011, 2012. It was the first gun I ever owned, was a Glock 19, 9mm. And then the second one was a Glock. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a Glock 23, but it's a bigger one. It's a big boy. It's a big fat boy, but it's also 9mm. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm completely wrong. Okay, so I have the Glock 19, which is 9mm, and then I got a Keltec PF9, which is it's what George Zimmerman used. And actually, I really don't like that gun. Like the Keltec it hurts your hand to fire a lot, but again, it's not meant for like firing a lot. It's just, I think it's meant just for like self-defense, which ideally you only have to fire it like once or twice, right? Anyway, so I have a Keltec PF9, and then the other two guns I have are a Glock. I have two Glock 45s. I don't remember what they are. One is a big boy, and one is my favorite. It's a compact Glock. I don't know. Wait a minute. Let me get it. Oh. I'm still walking funny from when I hurt my leg. Yeah, this is it. It is the... Wait, is this my 19? No, it's a Glock 36. Yeah. 45 auto. Love this gun. Because it's a wonderful size. It's beautiful. It's just a nice looking gun. I'm going to put that... Keep that right there. But no, I cannot take any of those to Botswana with me, unfortunately. And actually... Honestly, like the whole question of like self-defense has kind of like got me a little sketched out, but it's a very safe country. Like, let's see, let's look up. How safe is it for a white man to live in Gaborone, Botswana? I think that was the first slimline Glock. Maybe. It's a very slick looking gun, and but the thing I like about it is that it's a 45. Gaborone is generally one of the safest capital cities in Africa, and white men are highly respected and warmly welcomed, which honestly has been my experience in most parts of Africa. The only places that I have felt a little on edge being white in Africa was Zambia a little bit when I was walking around the capital. I don't even remember the name of the capital. What is the capital of Zambia? I've been there, and Lusaka. But walking around Lusaka, I felt a little, and then certain parts of Cape Town, I have also felt a little uncomfortable, mostly related to being white. But otherwise, like when the time that I was in Gaborone, nope, felt fine. Even in Zimbabwe, where I was stopped by the military police, but I do not believe that had anything to do with me being white. I think that it had to do with me being stupid and taking pictures of a building I wasn't supposed to be taking pictures of. But I didn't know. Not that that's an excuse, but I learned, right? But I don't think that I was singled out because I was white in Zimbabwe. In Senegal, never felt like, and I walked around a lot of like sketchy parts of Senegal. Never felt uncomfortable. Didn't feel uncomfortable at all. And that's pretty much it. Like those are the only places I've been to in Africa. So I don't know. I don't know, man. How is it living in Gaborone, Botswana? How are white people seen there? I lived in both cities in the early 2000s up until around 2010. It was very safe when I lived there, but I hear crime has become a problem in Gaborone. Yeah, but the economy, like, yeah. So I am going to be taking like cameras with me because I do fear that maybe I might be singled out in terms of like if neighbors see that a white man is living in a certain house or something, like there's some risk of that maybe. We'll see. Many years ago, I was a tourist in Botswana for 2 months, and it was honestly one of the safest feelings on earth. Massive change in feeling of safety crossing the border into Zimbabwe or South Africa by comparison. That's true. We had some minor issues I would describe as corruption related. Corruption in Botswana, that's interesting. I remember when I was in South Africa, I met this girl from Zimbabwe. And I remember her telling me how, like, because I was telling her, like, oh, yeah, I'm going to Botswana next week. And she was telling me how, like, you know, in South Africa, you can bribe a police officer. In Zimbabwe, you can bribe a police officer. In Botswana, it's not going to happen, which is usually a good sign of, like, how corrupt or non-corrupt a country is. Not much to do in Gaborone proper. That is the truth. Gabs, as the locals call it, not Gaborone, they call it Gabs. Gabs is one of the sleepiest capital cities I have ever been to, if not the sleepiest capital city I've ever been to. It is ridiculously sleepy. That's the only way to describe it. It's just sleepy. I remember walking around on like a Thursday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm like, where's the traffic? Like, where are the cars? It was just like dead. It was just dead everywhere. Ridiculously sleepy. Locals are passive aggressive. Really? Okay. I mean, I only met a handful of locals, but I guess I'll meet some more. I'm going to be there. So. Anyway. Gaborone. All right, fellas. I think, okay, I was doing something here. Let me do that. So let's see. I got a little bit of time. Let me see if I can actually do a full stream tonight. Let's see. 100 meters. 100 meters is going to go to about right here. So let me go ahead and do my little trick of putting the corner of this window right here. And then what I'll do, I'll move this. Gotta move it down. again, it doesn't need to be exact. I just want it to be kind of like roughly. All right. So that's roughly 100 meters. Okay. And then what did I was looking at, when I was looking at Wainwright here. It drives me nuts. It drives me nuts that Bing does not have a measuring tool. I hope it gets a measuring tool soon because I really love the interface of Bing. Okay, so that's 100 meters between roads right there and there. So I want to add an alley. I don't know if those are alleys. Are those alleys? Okay, these... Okay, those are alleys. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try something. In order to save myself a little bit of time, I'm going to select this. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to paste it. I'm going to move the copy up. I want to shrink it. Actually, I'm just going to delete some endpoints of it, right? Like that one. That one. That one. Oh, I like how it actually... Okay. Yeah, because it like selects the next one. I like how it did that automatically for me. And then I want to rotate it. You know, I could have just copied and pasted the other one onto the layer, but whatever. I want to do things a difficult way, right? And then I'm going to move it. And then, so that is about 100 meters right there. Perfect. Okay. And now let's go make sure those are connected. Yeah, so tomorrow is going to be Fish Hog's app has a measuring tool. Good. Needs one. I haven't loaded that up in a while. Let me look it up. Yeah. But what are you going to do now that Claude's so expensive? I mean, there's never going to be an update. There won't be any updates. There's not going to be any Fish Hog updates. All right, so let me see. If I go back over here, go to the selection tool, come over here. I guess I can space these out a little bit better, or a little, space them out a little more, right? Like I could do this here. I could do this one. Oh, whoa, wait a minute. All right, let me see if I move this over. I gotta poop. Suddenly I gotta poop. Put that there. Like that. My roadmap target is August 1st for version 1.0. I have 3 major functionality releases to finish between now and then. How much is it going to cost you? Probably like $7,000 or something ridiculous. I mean, as expensive as AI is these days. put this one right here. Oh, I'm going to do it like that. We'll select this one. We'll move. We'll put it here. Here. And we'll rotate it. Just going to rotate. Just a little happy rotation. There we go. Excellent. Just going to rotate the little house. Okay. We'll leave these as they are. That's 10 meters. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to delete that one. We're going to delete the measuring sticks essentially. Right? So we'll just go, we'll select this one. Oh wait, that's on the, what layer is that on? That is on the, it's on the alleys layer. So we'll select this one. Oop. We'll select this one and we'll delete it. And then we'll select this one and we'll delete it. Okay. Now I'm going to save everything. Save for all layers. And then we're going to turn editing off. Turn editing off. Then we're going to click save again. Okay, now we're going to close the project and we're going to check this in. We're going to check in the code and then stage all, adding some buildings to point. So I named this place because I was watching, I was watching soccer. I was watching the World Cup. And so that town is called Point Goal Kick. But Goal Kick is spelled Golqik. So it looks Inuit. Point Goal Kick. No, I'm on the $200 a month sub. What do you get for $200 a month? Like, and I'm not being cheeky. Like, I'm honestly asking, like, what do you get for that $200 a month? I mean, other than just more requests, other than just more, like. So this is Claude. I know you're a big fan of Claude. I believe I have an account. Let me see. Obviously the free account, but my $200 a month sub has gotten me over $9,500 in inference over the last 30 days. About 12 billion tokens. Let's see. We'll go with this one. Supercharge your spreadsheets. No, I'm good. Claude 5 is currently unavailable. What does the $200 per month subscription get me? It's called Claude Max 20 times. Here's what it gets you. A core benefit is 20 times more usage than Pro. Same models, bigger bucket. Max isn't a different model tier. It's a larger usage allowance. You get the same... My water's not here. You get the same Claude model as Pro, but more headroom. It's designed for engineers who treat Claude Code like an always-on pair programmer. Agentic AI builders running... Okay, the financial logic. At current API rates, Sonnet 4.6 costs $3 per million input and $15 per million output tokens. A daily user burning several million tokens per week can easily exceed $300 a month on raw API, making the $200 flat rate often cheaper. A few caveats. Max is available as a monthly subscription only, no annual discount. Anthropic may still apply weekly, monthly caps or model or feature usage limits at their discretion. For most people, Pro at 20, I don't think you're using all of it. I don't think you're using it. I think you think that AI was going to just change the world, and I mean it has in a lot of ways, but I think you thought that like it was going to like that you could lay off 80% of your engineers and replace them with Claude Max subscription. I think that's why you spent $200 a month. I'm convinced of it. You can't convince me otherwise. That's why you did it. Just admit it. Just admit it. Okay, so I pushed everything. Contextually, that's about 1,750 GitHub contributions in the last 30 days, according to my GitHub profile, which is almost all Claude. And that's why the app constantly crashes on me. No, I'm fucking with you. No, I reject that concept outright. Nope. That's why you spend $200 a month. I'm convinced of it. Okay, I want to see if my map. I want to see. This is what I like about the system, the pipeline that I built. Let's see if it actually works in action. Because I added those buildings, and point goal click is over here. It's right here, and I just want to see if those buildings. Okay, I might need to refresh. I may have fucked up with the zoom, actually. Did I do zoom 17? I think I wanted to do zoom 16, maybe 15. Oh, I did 16. Okay. I feel like I want to even do 15. Yeah, we'll do 15. We'll do 15. But this could be a refresh thing as well. So let me try incognito. It takes a second. Okay, there are my buildings. There they are. There they are. Don't they look beautiful? Don't they look beautiful? But this is what I really like. This is why I like the pipeline I built. I'm a little proud of it. I'll admit I'm a little proud of it. But you see how like I just added the buildings onto the map, and I did my best, and then pushed the changes, and then boom, they're on the website. So I do kind of love that. I do kind of love that it's all just kind of working. My opinion that AI supercharges the need for developers, engineers, not reduces it. Yeah, no, I mean, but now, companies are going to have to like double their AI budget double their engineering budget in order to afford AI. I still love that quote from Jensen that was just like, if your engineers aren't spending at least $200,000 a year on tokens, or whatever the number was, right? But if they're not spending at least $200,000 a year on tokens, then they're not doing it right. Then you need to and it's like, that's like a heroin dealer being like, if you're not getting high at least 3 times a day, then are you even getting high? Like, what the deal? What's the deal? Did power tools reduce? That you sound like the guy, like you sound like one of the guys I work with, who's like, who loves talking about a screwdriver, using the screwdriver analogy. Did power tools reduce the need for carpenters or increase the number of houses being built? No, I get you. I don't entirely disagree with you. When the cost of capital goes to zero, what does that reduce the need for banks? Well, I love that one quote that was like, where there was a video of a couple weeks ago. There was that video of the AI bot that was like packaging stuff at like an Amazon warehouse. It was like the AI bot compared to the human person doing the same thing, and it showed like the human person like taking a water break, taking this and that break and everything, and then it was like, yeah, look how much faster the bot gets the work done. And then the top comment was, robots don't shop. So I was like, that's an excellent point. Robots don't shop. So, yep. Anyway. All right, fellas. Well, I'm heading out. tomorrow I will be back at 4 o'clock. I hope everybody is here. I would love it because it's going to be a special show. So at least for me, it will be. Fuck you guys. I don't care what you think. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you tomorrow, 4 o'clock.